Welcome back to Holiday Hot Takes. Let's get to it. From Double L11862. As a hobbyist, you should be doing field repairs on blasters you find in thrift stores, even if you don't intend to buy them. What? Excuse me, what? This is the wildest hot take I think I've read thus far. Are you saying that I need to bring in like tools from outside and fix blasters that are like on Goodwill shelves, even if I'm not going to buy it, even if I was going to buy it? What does that conversation look like with the employees? No, please. I noticed this was jammed. I'm gonna fix it for you. I noticed the wiring was incomplete, so I brought in a solder kit so I could fix this blaster really quick. The person who buys this will thank me later. How else do I interpret this? I am broken. Wow. Is it hot in here? Yes, it is. That is a hot take. Thank you for making me laugh. If you're serious though, I need elaboration. Iron Man Mando. Nerf Zombie is so much worse than Zombie Strike. Yeah, I think universally this is a pretty cold take, though I will say there's not much to compare, honestly. Zombie Strike has quite a few offerings, and I mean, wow, Zombie Strike has some iconic blasters at this point, just some really solid foundations that a lot of us love. And Zombie, what do they have? A couple? Is it really feeling like a new line, or is it just the slow death of Zombie Strike? I see this as just, I wish Zombie Strike was still around, and Nerf says, Zombie what? Foam Fett. I am so gosh darn sick of calling the cylinders in revolvers turrets. A turret is a weapon emplacement, not a part. Well, that's a hot take and definitely something that I say differently all the time. Therefore, I'm not sure if I want to complain about this one because I'm calling out myself. I'm surprised actually I saw this instead of like the clip versus mag discussion. Come on guys, let's debate the fun one. You know, if people call something a turret, it's not the end of the world. You can educate people without, you know, beating them over the head with like, no, this is what it is. Because if we get so distracted by those details, you've lost the plot. And I think that's definitely one way we risk losing new people. Just educate them nicely. Fast Hippie. We need more quality Elite Junior. The combination of light prime and big triggers are great for kids and adults alike. That's a hot take, because I'm sure a lot of people would want that to be gone so they can focus on something else, but yeah, fair. N-Series, I've talked about this before. Can we get N-Series and Elite Junior to like figure that out? Because I think there's something going on there. Strong Arm 11, hot take. The X-Shot Longshot is a great blaster and isn't crap. Wow, well that is hot. When it works, yeah. I think that in this case, X-Shot really missed the mark on just one simple piece. Like they cheaped out on so much stuff. If you'd kept the plunger tube just a little bit higher quality, then maybe we wouldn't have this problem. Does that mean that the blaster overall is bad? I guess it really depends on who you talk to. I personally don't think that it's a complete garbage blaster, but I do wish they would have increased the price just a little bit if it meant putting in a slightly better plunger tube. Skinny Scouter. Use more types of ammo. Example, Demolisher rockets, Mega XL, ballistic balls, etc. Everyone just using half darts, and sometimes Rival and Mega is boring. Whoa, that is a hot take because that last part, calling Rival and Mega boring, is being ungrateful. Do you know how lucky you are nowadays if you find your hobby games, your modern nerfing events with Rival and Mega still on the field? Also, we can't really get Demolisher rockets and ballistic balls reliably, so like, yeah, everyone who's saying we need to see more of those on the field, it's getting harder and harder, guys. Trust me, I have both, and every time I'm like, I could bring these to a game, it's like, oh, where are we playing? Am I gonna risk losing these? Is someone gonna walk off with them? Like, do I have to mark these with my name? It's not super hot to say we need more types of ammo on the field, but it just has become harder and harder to get things that are super specialized. At least Rival and Mega bring something that's a little bit different. Using more types of ammo, not a hot take, but a good take. Taco Tear Animations. Most likely everyone's gonna hate me for this, I'll be the judge of that, but I think that Mega and Ultra lines are overrated. What is going on with these hot takes on Mega? Who sent you people? What do you have against Mega? That is a hot take and I will not stand for it. Also, I mean, like, okay, Mega darts are one of the older lines at this point too, if you have to compare it to some of the other dart types that are still being produced. I maintain that we should still be thankful that we can find mega blasters or even mega darts out there online and just like not for exorbitant prices. I get though why some people don't care so much for mega because it's still similar enough. I think people who go out of their way to sing praises about Nerf Ultra are the ones that need to hear this. Well, yeah, Nerf Ultra is not super amazing, but it's also not terrible. It's definitely not overrated because at this point too, Ultra's not even being made. Daniel Huffman, I don't consider the inaccuracy of Ultra blasters to be an inherently bad quality, as this is only applicable at longer ranges rather than close quarters combat, and would be an asset against large numbers of opponents. Is the hot take here that inaccurate darts are okay? What? Well, yeah, I mean, anytime you get closer to people, true, the inaccuracies don't matter as much. I gotta say though, Ultra AccuStrike lived up to its name, just like Mega AccuStrike. Ultra takes over everything. So I actually noticed that the Ultra Sonic Screamers seem to be a little bit more accurate too. Citation needed. Proof required. You're not going to get it here. There were some blasters that just seemed to be more reliable when it came to accuracy. So it's always going to be a combination of flywheel blaster, Springer, the long barrel, short barrel, what kind of darts are you using? If you knew what you were doing, you could make Ultra darts be more accurate. But when you compare to the original advertising of Nerf Ultra with the Aerofin technology that's going to make it the most accurate dart ever, that's when you get a little bit upset on the, hey, my accuracy is not that good, and that's definitely a hot take. Thanks, Hasbro. Phase 1 foam. People make excuses for Dart Zone when they mess up, but when Nerf does the same thing, it's always hate towards Nerf. There is no excuses for laziness or lack of effort. I would agree with this. I guess it's a hot take overall though. People will always have biases, and I think that's important to remember. Whether you realize it or not, you probably have some bias about a certain company, a certain creator, a certain product, a certain type of product. And yes, I do see some people defending Dart Zone when you think, wait, no, you can just call out that that's a bad thing and it's not that big of a deal. It's just, you're just talking about the product. Do some people go out of their way to hate on Nerf products because has bad Nerf, no good? I also think that that is true. And I think one of the reasons that Dart Zone has gotten away with this over the years is because they did a really good job of getting into our hobby, our little community, and making sure that when things were going awry or when new stuff was coming out, that we're listening to you guys, we will definitely release what's for you, and people felt like Dart Zone was just with us. They were listening to us every step of the way, they heard us, they were at our events, and so it became a little bit harder to criticize them when they're standing right next to you. You can't say anything mean about Dart Zone, you'll hurt their feelings and then they'll leave the hobby and they'll never make stuff for us again. And it's like, there's some truth to that. But also, they need to be willing to receive criticism. They should receive criticism, and constructive criticism, I mean, like for their stuff, because we want their stuff to get better, and if they make better stuff, then we will buy it. And the same thing we would hope with a company like Hasbro, with their Nerf blasters. It's just that that doesn't always happen. Lego Meeker 101 Potato. Nerf is not hated on enough. Whoa. Hot take incoming. Hate's a strong word. The few times they do something for the community, it usually has major flaws like cheap structure, inability to get replacements, my Strife X is worthless since I don't have a battery that works anymore, or just bad design. Springer Pro blasters have jams, and I think that's because of the plastic barrel. I think they are looked past a lot because I don't want to be negative, but this just leads to most people not even knowing about the issues. I think this is a step too far. It's a very hot take, and I would like to push back on it a little bit. I 100% agree that it's frustrating when Nerf puts out a product and they don't have like a spare battery, because yeah, if my Strife X battery dies, then I would also be like, what the heck? That's frustrating when any company does that. But people critique all these points all the time. It's not just that we're calling out other companies, we're very outspoken about Nerf's products. See previous comment. I mean, we were talking about how it's always Nerf that gets overhated. This is saying Nerf is not hated on enough. There needs to be a reminder that all these companies have people working at them. You can have toxic positivity towards products and toxic negativity. You can critique the products and the business practices without also going after the people who work there. I know you're probably saying, well, I didn't mean that, but like at a certain point when you're just going after like, oh, Hasbro bad no matter what you do because it's not this, it's not that, like we need to over-hate on this one company, I think that kind of crosses the line. You can like something and have complaints about it, and you should point them out. For example, with the Strife X again. I like the Strife X overall, but I acknowledge it's not nice that they don't have battery replacements, and there's some ergonomic things that are a little bit weird, but it's like overall usable. Am I a shill or just like hiding the truth because I don't talk about every little nitpick? Everyone focuses on different things. I don't think that means that we're hiding those little facts and people are going to be misled. I agree when someone says, I don't want to be negative, then that might be missing some important details that would make or break a purchasing decision, but only literal ads would brush over the negatives like 100%. So we can give constructive criticism towards any company, and if they choose to spit in our face with hearing that constructive feedback, then that sucks, but that's what it is. And at the same time, we don't need to go out of our way to be like, oh, I'm not even gonna pay attention to Hasbro anymore. Like, oh, I'm gonna go out of my way to comment on all of Nerf's posts and say, Dart Zone better, or X Shot's more fun, you guys need to do this, X, Y, and Z. Not engaging with a company and not purchasing their stuff is an excellent way to tell them, I don't care.